Oh, Canada used to be one of the best place on earth. Now you're not even in the top 10. In fact, you're the 15th most happiest place in the world. I don't fucking know, nor do I really care what a bunch of globalists have to think about what happiness is all about. But there are plenty of reasons to be critical of this once great place that is now descending into a communist shithole care of Justin Trudeau. In fact, the dude is once again just doing a tremendous amount of garbage by making sure that the Canadian African Climate Fund receives 132 just about $133 million investment from the Trudeau Liberals, which will make, I guess, Africans happy, I suppose. Or what about significantly increasing the pay of a sex abuser? Why not? And this is a story that actually matters, and more people should be aware of this. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau approved a performance bonus for former Chief of Defense Staff Jonathan Vance, which is the equivalent to a Secretary of Defense Chief of Staff in the United States, even after he was made aware of the sexual misconduct allegations leveled against the retired general. The Globe and Mail reports. Documents show that Vance's bonus pay in 2019 was increased to between $260,600 and $306,500 effective the previous year, an increase of about $50,000. My God. But as you know, Justin Trudeau and his office failed to live up to their zero tolerance policy for standard or on sexual misconduct in the Canadian Armed Forces. But what was their response to that? Lol, are bad. But don't worry, if there is going to be any sexual assault allegations, they're going to make sure that it only comes domestically, because that goddamn border is definitely staying shut until April 21st. Man, now I'm starting to see why it's 15th most happiest place on earth. But it's nice you're going to have more opportunities to visit places such as that. To be fair, it is fairly beautiful. But right now, most of it's under ice and snow. All parts of the world are beginning to reopen. Canada is continuing to keep its border under tight grip. But if you wanted to get in the United States, I hear the easiest way to do that is to just, kind of brown up a little bit. Maybe go outside. You can brave the cold if you're in the northern part of a province. Just make it suffice whatever's going to be sticking out of your jacket in order to cross the border. Just start speaking with a little bit of a ethnic accent, and you should be able to get across. I hear that's a very popular method of doing so. Oh, Christ. Canadian Prime Minister, you know who he is. I don't need to throw up before dinner. Has extended the ban on non-essential travel between the United States and Canada through April 21st. Bets on if that's going to continue. I bet it'll go longer than April 21st. Government leaders on both countries first announced the border closure 1 year ago on March 21st, 2021, have extended the order on a nearly monthly basis ever since. Straight from the horse's ass, update on our border. Non-essential travel restrictions between Canada and the U.S. have been extended by another 30 days until April 21st. We'll continue to do whatever is necessary to keep you and your loved ones safe and dependent on the Liberal government tit. I don't get it. I really don't get it. There are the proper precautions being taken for international travel. Like, there's been the PCR tests have been doled out since the 22nd of February. I don't know why you weren't doing that before that. Then again, he probably couldn't get his hands on them, because we know that Trudeau's practices when it comes to at least ordering the vaccine is never quite adequate. Apparently 250,000 doses was going to be enough for him and his friends, I guess. I don't fucking know. Couldn't get that done. I don't know why we just aren't testing people. Like, I'm pretty sure to get on a plane, you gotta get tested. So why isn't that just the case? Why don't you just fucking do that? Oh, but it's all about control. It's not about doing anything else. Speaking of which, my own home province, despite hospitalizations being under 300, that was their self-imposed magical number, Alberta will not lower pandemic restrictions. I think I was right on that one. Yeah, and these restrictions were also supposed to be only temporary until the middle of January. Yeah, cool. Tyler Shandro, this low T, I can't say the word that I want. I think he's like the health secretary or whatever it's called here. Secretary is an apropos description. Oh, that's the equivalent. Yes, health minister. Announced Alberta will not be lowering COVID-19 restrictions despite the province being under 300 hospitalization threshold. It demanded for sanctions to be lowered. Shandro said there are 280 people in hospital, but health officials expect it to be over 300 again by the end of the week. But what if it's lower than that, Tyler? Ugh. Anybody who's over the age of 20 with the name Tyler, you should just shorten it to Ty so you don't seem like an overgrown child. Just a little word to the wise. But we'll finish this statement here because I'd like to go off. Hospitalizations have risen in recent days. This is a concern. Yes, to 280 after we looked at the bed count throughout the province, and it's in the mid to high 4 digits, but 280 people, that's a major concern. We just need to hold faster a little while longer. Care to quantify that? Here's what's still closed in Alberta. Okay. Team sports, not allowed to do that. Not allowed to go to casinos, racing centers, bingo halls. Youth sport and recs are still being controlled by the government. Yay. Indoor social gatherings with restrictions. Yes, no more. No indoor gatherings and only 10 people outside. Stupid. Indoor seating events, movie theaters. So that's all right. Nobody's going to see the movies anyways, and there's nothing good anyways, so that's fine. Museums, art galleries, zoos, interpretive centers. Ugh. Keep them closed. And places of worship. So fucking stupid. All of this shit is retarded. And you know why our province is 100% cucked? These are the people who would be most likely to be easing restrictions. But instead, they've met their limit. They were under the 300 that they self-imposed on themselves. And they're still just going to continue on because maybe potentially in the future it could be back over 300. We anticipate it to be there. Really? If we're just going to keep on legislating on things that might happen into the future, you should just make abortions mandatory. Why not? Oh, some people might potentially in the future go out and drunk drive. Some people might eventually in the future shoot up somewhere. Like, this is the type of legislation we're looking at right here. No, you'll get your rights back eventually. It'll just take some time. We just need to hold steady a little bit longer. And then you got that indignant cunt across the aisle. NDP leader Rachel Notley urged the Premier to delay Step 3 earlier in the day. She said Albertans do not have the whole picture. Oh no, they don't. But not for the reasons that you think, and called again for the government to release detailed modeling on variant cases. Again, another bitch who doesn't fucking understand what the difference between these variations are. What's the difference between the UK and the regular strand? Nothing? Oh, it's more easily spreadable. It's more dangerous. Well, where'd you get that information from? Well, it started to overtake the original strain in the UK, and just because there's more cases of that means that it's more spreadable. That's the only proof that they're going on, that it's not any more deadly. It's just more spreadable, apparently. It's not. It's fucking not. And then at the federal level, this is the type of messaging that we get from our right-wing leaders. We will have a plan to address climate change. Ugh. It will be comprehensive, and it will be serious. But make no mistake, we can't have a green future without jobs and growth. Fuck off. Aaron O'Toole is the biggest fucking cocksock I could possibly think of running the Conservative Party of Canada. Whatever form they take. This is why there's no hope in this country. I was going to say province, but it's pretty damn close. Especially with Kenny cucking out at every fucking opportunity. He releases this on Twitter where the only thing you're going to get is, your party doesn't believe in climate change. It's total fucking AIDS. That's why there's very little that you can defend, promote, do really anything from Canada with. That's why we export all of our talent, and all the best ones have left. There's a reason Jordan Peterson's more well-known around the world than he is just in Canada, because they'd rather idolize people like Justin Trudeau. People who accomplish nothing and have only achieved their status just because their father was famous instead of making a name for themselves. Then you have opposition like this bald-headed, low-testosterone beta thinking that, my green future. Meanwhile, we're sitting on some of the largest natural resource reserves in the world. But no, he'll just go ahead and cuck out to that. Fuck the Conservative Party of Canada. They suck. Dump trucks full of dick. Whatever, I hope a scandal befalls them and then we get an actual leader in there. I don't know who that is either. I think the rest of them all suck anyways. There's only the one French guy, which is weird for me to stick up for a French Canadian, but he's the only one who seems to be on the level. Pierre Poilievre. Talked about him before. He's the only guy who's actually out there. It's like there's one Rand Paul and 300 Mitt Romneys. that's Canada in a nutshell. But yeah, if that border ever does get open, I'm definitely making my escape plan. So yeah, if you guys are watching this from outside of the country, be thankful you're not there. And if you are watching it from in here, best of luck. And hopefully you can make your own provisions yourself. With that said, guys, I thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.